Steve Healey is co-founder of the Brooke Healey Foundation, created in honor of his daughter Brooke, a joyful 5-year-old who lost her battle with a disease called DIPG. So DIPG is an aggressive and it's an incurable form of pediatric brain cancer. Since 2013, the foundation has raised over $2.5 million to support research and families. Now, September is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month, and this month, the organization's mission is called Caring Till It's Cured. We welcome Steve. Good morning to you.
How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm good. Thank you for coming on today. Tell us about your daughter, Brooke, and how her incredible journey inspired the launch of this foundation in her honor.
So, Brooke was your typical 4-year-old girl, very happy, playful, and one day, I apologize. I'm a school teacher, and that's the bell.
No
But Brooke,
worries.
one day was her hand was shaking, and we took her to the pediatrician, who happened to be a Harvard graduate from Harvard Medical School graduate, and immediately sent us to have an MRI done. And they sat us down and basically said to us at that time, your daughter has about 8 months to live and there's nothing we can do. So DIPG is an aggressive brainstem cancer. There's only about 300 kids in the United States who get it a year. And when, we were met with the obstacle of what treatment options we have, and we were told none, they were said because there's no funding, because, cancer's treated by the masses. In other words, all the money goes to where most of the cancers are. And since there's only 300 kids in the United States affected with DIPG, there was no funding. And one of the doctors told me at that time, it's up to you and families like you to create the funding for this disease. And that's what we set out to do.
And it just, as you said that, I just thought to myself, not that anyone ever deserves to get cancer, but when you think about cancers that we get because of self-indulgence, smoking that leads to lung cancer, or even alcoholic consumption that could lead to lung cancer and esophageal cancer, it's sort of self-induced. A little kid did nothing to
Right.
deserve that. And yet so many people get lung cancer, so there's millions that go to lung cancer research, but nothing to go to the research for a little child who did nothing to get this. So I'm so thrilled that DIPG is now getting some recognition. God bless you for letting people know about this. So when this diagnosis comes out today, there is a little difference, right? Because now we've extended the survival rate to 2 years. And it doesn't sound like a lot to a lot of people, but as a parent, because if you extend it 2 years, maybe by that point, we'll have another 2 years. We'll figure something out, right? So talk about the progress so far.
Yeah, so that's very interesting. It's an 8-month diagnosis, basically, once your diagnosis to when a child passes. And our organization teamed up with 80 different other organizations across the globe, actually. We have partner foundations in Australia, in Canada, in Japan, in the Netherlands, in the Czech Republic, and lots in the United States. And we all pool our money together to fund the necessary research for this. And we recently, last week, just gave a $1 million grant to one individual for his research efforts. And basically, we put DIPG on the map. We are the ones who are behind raising the funds to make the change, and we're making the difference. And like you said, the life expectancy has changed, and that's solely based on the funding that we provided. So our network of people across the globe are making an enormous difference. And, it's a great thing when you see the Brooke Healey Foundation centered in New Providence, New Jersey, small organization, but the impact we have is global.
I think Brooke has a lot to do with that. I think Brooke is smiling down. I'm a very religious man, and I believe in things like that very much so. God bless her and God rest her soul. There is something called flash proton therapy. Talk about how that cuts treatment time. It used to be, what, a 25-day treatment cycle, and it's cut down to just 5. Tell us about the flash proton therapy.
So I'm not a doctor or researcher, but I can give you some highlights. The flash proton therapy, there's a machine, a couple $1 million machine, that does this flash therapy directly to the tumor. It helps protect the healthy tissue around the tumor. and it's more directed, it's faster, and that actually at our recent symposium in Banff, Canada, one of the doctors had won the Innovator of the Year for that flash proton therapy trial that he's working on.
That's amazing. And Steve, talk about how, and again, I know you're not a doctor, but talk about how if we get advances in this kind of cancer, DIPG, and I want to say it again and again so people hear it and remember it. Experts think that beating DIPG could transform treatment of other cancers, right?
Absolutely. So this is considered one of the biggest bully cancers, if you will, the hardest to treat. It's located at the top of the brainstem at the pons. If you try and cut into the pons, it's fatal. So if we can treat the biggest bully cancer, it's going to lead to treatments for all the other, I'm going to say easier cancers. There's no easy cancer, but it's going to lead to developments in those. So our doctors and researchers in the field of DIPG, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Our doctors and researchers in the field of DIPG feel that this is the home run cure for cancers. In other words, we cure one of the hardest ones, and everything else is going to trickle down from that. And that's pretty exciting.
It sure is. Tell us a website for people to get involved and find out more, please.
Sure. It's www.brookehealey.org.
All right, Steve Healey, thank you so much. It's called the Brooke Healey Foundation, and DIPG is this aggressive brain cancer. Read about it, find out more, and let's find out about it so that we could forget about it someday, hopefully with a cure. Thank you so much, Steve. God bless you, and God bless you for what you do with your organization.
All right. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.